This is Sofaville presents Episode 9, The Name's Onnery, with Tim Larkfield as Sean Connery.
My name is Sean Connery. Not that Sean Connery. Or the other one, if there is another one. I'm me, Sean. I'm an actor. I do mainly low-budget films, spy comedies, sci-fis where I wear nothing but a ponytail and a mankini. Anything that'll pay the bills. It wasn't always this way, though. The name was a problem from the very start of my career. "What's your name?" people would say. "Sean Connery," I'd reply. Then they'd wince their eyes, look me up and down, and invariably follow that with a "bollocks, you look nothing like him," and get really angry and the conversation would stop right there. I put up with it for a few months, until the time came for me to register my name with Equity, the Actors Union. If you want to work in TV, film, whatever, you need to register your name with them. So I tried registering, but they said someone already had the name and he was very well known. I might have heard of him. I told them I really was called Sean Connery and that I could prove it. "Okay," they said. "Say, 'Well, Miss Moneypenny.'" And of course I couldn't. The phone hangs up. So I felt I had to pick another. Well, I'd not had to choose my own name before. I mean, mostly people get a name from birth and that's them set. I thought about it for a bit and then called them back. Before they could say bollocks and hang up on me again, I quickly had to become sympathetically insistent and said, "Look, I really need to change my name. I'd like to change it to something else. Not Sean Connery, okay, that's taken, but how about Sean Onnery?" And they just sighed and said, "Look, if you're not going to take this seriously..." "No," I explained. "Listen, Sean Onnery." They told me it was ridiculous and they do no such thing, so I insisted they check to see if it was already taken as a name by some other actor. There was some typing on their end of the phone, then a sound of despair, and then, hallelujah, glory be praised, the name was available and I could call myself Shonk. Well, I was over the moon. I got business cards printed, set up my own website, the lot. I was on my way, but I needed an agent, and every agent I contacted by phone or email just would not take me seriously. Must have thought it was all some big joke or something. And then a few weeks later, when I was about to give up all hope, I was scrolling through Twitter, reading the usual narcissistic dribblings of the people on there, when I saw a name that stood out. Roger Orr, actor. And he had an agent. I sent him a message. "Hi Roger, my name's Shonk. Can we have a chat? I'd love to get in touch." Well, it turned out he had been in exactly the same predicament, but his friend Pierce put him in touch with an agent and suddenly the work started pouring in. Now, the thing was, the agent knew there was no bloody way these guys were going to get work in any Western countries. They'd spot the names right away. So what he did was get him booked in places where they used different alphabets and writing styles. Russia, China, Japan, Thailand, you name it. They wrote the names phonetically, and Bob's your uncle. You've got people rushing out to see a Nicolas Cage or Tom Cruise film. Admittedly, once they see it isn't their real idols on screen, the ticket sales drop away pretty sharply. In one cinema in Indonesia, an actual riot broke out, and they lynched the projectionist by hanging him with the actual negative of the film. The trick was to make sure the films cost as little as possible in the first place, so losses were minimised. A death here or there they felt they could handle. I did ask my agent about the whole thing and pointed out it was probably a short-term gimmick, and he didn't see my point of view. I said, "Well, you're relying your entire setup on one ruse. People won't keep going for it. I'm surprised you kept going this long without people turning against you, to be honest. You need to try something else." And he agreed, turned his hand to people that look exactly like famous people but with completely different names. Works on film posters as long as they don't credit them, you know? Then he went into music and tried touting a Genesis-style band called Genius with Bill Collins on vocals, but I don't think that ever had legs, to be honest. So that's my career over. I've made enough money anyway, so I can't complain. I'll go back to being plain old Sean Connery, live in seclusion somewhere, play golf or something. I'll just do this one last James Bond film, and then call it a day. You don't want to flog a dead horse. Know what I mean?
You have been listening to This is Sofaville, Episode 9, The Name's Onnery, with Tim Larkfield as Sean Connery. Recorded in April 2022, The Name's Onnery was written and created by Ronald Mosier for This is Sofaville. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. For all social media pages on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, please follow us at This is Sofaville, where you can find updates on all future productions.